You won't believe what happened next. Imagine someone who changed the way we watch TV courtroom shows forever. A woman who dominated daytime television for a quarter of a century, becoming a household name across America, and then, just like that, she vanished from her throne. The world thought she'd finally hung up her robe for good. But here's the wild part. Judge Judy didn't retire. She wasn't ready to disappear. She reinvented herself, and what she's built since leaving her iconic show will seriously surprise you. Let's rewind to see how this all started, because the journey of Judy Scheindlin isn't your typical, overnight success story. No, it's a saga of risk, reinvention, and a whole lot of sass. So, go back with me to the mid-60s, long before anyone was chanting, "All rise," in their living rooms. Judy passed the New York State Bar exam in 1965, ready to take on the legal world. But her first step wasn't in a courtroom. Instead, she landed a job as a corporate lawyer for a cosmetics firm. It sounded impressive, but to Judy, it felt empty. She lasted 2 years before realizing she wanted more out of life than fancy boardrooms and makeup brands. She quit law entirely, choosing instead to focus on her young family. Her kids, Jamie and Adam, became her main gig for a while. Now, how many people do you know who would walk away from a promising career just to find meaning? That's bold, right? But for Judy, it was all about finding something that actually mattered to her. By 1972, though, she was ready to get back into the action. But this time she wanted a job that felt worthwhile. That's when a friend tipped her off about an opening as a prosecutor in the New York family court system. She applied, crushed the interview, and was hired on the spot. Right from the jump, her style set her apart. She was sharp, unfiltered, and not afraid to call people out. If you were trying to pull a fast one, Judy would catch you every single time. Word spread fast. People started talking about this no-nonsense attorney who just wouldn't take any crap, especially from anyone trying to play games in her courtroom. By 1982, her rep landed her an appointment as a criminal court judge by New York's mayor. And she didn't stop there. 4 years later, Judy was promoted again, becoming the supervising judge of Manhattan's Family Court Division. That's when things really took off. Now, here's a little secret. Judy never tried to become famous. She just wanted to get stuff done. But fate had other ideas. A newspaper reporter wrote an article about her fierce approach to justice. Suddenly, Hollywood noticed. 2 talent agents spotted the story and realized she'd be TV gold. Next thing you know, Judy was being interviewed on a major network 60 Minutes, showing off her tough love style for the whole country. And the audience? They loved her. Like really loved her. People saw someone on TV who actually seemed to care about the truth, who didn't let people spin tall tales, and who got straight to the heart of every case. Judy realized she was onto something big, so she wrote a book with a title you'd never forget. It wasn't long before she decided to retire from the bench, having heard more than 20,000 cases. But she wasn't done yet. That TV magic was calling her name. Behind the scenes, a production company saw what she could do and pitched a courtroom show built around her style. But there was a catch. The show needed the right chemistry on set. The first bailiff just didn't fit. That's when Judy remembered a letter from a real-life bailiff named Petrie Hawkins Bird, as fans would come to know him. He'd read her book and offered to put his uniform back on if she ever needed backup. She called and Bird was in. It was the perfect match. The show exploded. Judge Judy was an instant hit. Bird was calm, collected, and unshakable, the perfect counterweight to Judy's rapid-fire justice. Fans tuned in for their banter just as much as the legal cases. The whole thing felt real, like you were in the courtroom watching justice in action. What happened next was wild. Ratings went through the roof. Judge Judy started beating out every other daytime show, including, believe it or not, the Oprah Winfrey juggernaut. There were days when more than 10 million people were watching at once. The show got so big, surveys showed Americans trusted Judge Judy's verdicts more than decisions from the actual U.S. Supreme Court. That's not a joke. And yet, for years, no major TV awards. The show was nominated over and over but never took home the prize. Judy, true to form, shrugged it off. She cared about her viewers, not some trophy on the shelf. But eventually the Emmys caught up. After 15 nominations, the show finally snagged its first. That opened the floodgates. More awards rolled in. Judy herself got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, got inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, and even set a couple of world records. Longest-serving TV judge and longest-running courtroom show. It wasn't just about trophies, though. Judge Judy was getting paid. In 2005, her salary shot up to $25 million a year. Just let that sink in, $1 million every 2 weeks, basically. A few years later, she negotiated for even more, $45 million per season. She became one of the richest women in entertainment. You better believe people noticed. Some folks griped that it wasn't fair for a TV judge to make more than real judges in the trenches. But hey, you pull in those ratings, you get the big checks. So what made her so magnetic? Well, she was fast, she cut right through the drama. No stalling, no excuses, just pure common sense. She became known as the human lie detector. Her decades in family court gave her a sixth sense for the truth. People loved that. They wanted to see justice served right now without all the usual courtroom nonsense. Of course, not everyone was a fan. Over time, some critics said Judy got too harsh. They accused her of interrupting, judging people too quickly, and being biased against folks who were struggling. Some even wondered aloud if she could get disbarred for her style. The show was always a business too. Litigants got paid to show up, put up in fancy hotels, and sometimes even made up their disputes just to get on TV and score some cash. But viewers kept watching and the drama kept coming. The grind started catching up with Judy. In 2011, she fainted on set, completely blacked out in the middle of a case. She was rushed to the hospital and diagnosed with a mini stroke. Most people would take that as a sign to slow down, but not Judy. She bounced back, renegotiated her contract for even more money, and kept going. Even as she broke records, there was always some kind of legal battle behind the scenes. She and her producers got sued over everything from profits to spin-offs to, no joke, cutlery. She sued back just as hard, refusing to let anyone take her down. When former business partners claimed she owed them millions, she went toe-to-toe in court, defending herself every step of the way. Usually she came out on top, but not always. Sometimes, the drama off-screen was just as juicy as the cases in her courtroom. In 2020, Judy dropped the bombshell. Her legendary run was ending. Fans freaked out. After 25 years, Judge Judy was wrapping up for good. The end of an era, right? But Judy had a plan. She wasn't about to fade away or retire to some beach. She was ready to build something even bigger. That's when she came up with the idea for a brand new courtroom show. One that would bring together the old-school audience with a whole new generation. This time, she brought her granddaughter on board, building a family dynasty right there on TV. The only problem? Bird wasn't invited. Judy told him there wasn't enough budget for his salary, and just like that, TV's most iconic judge-bailiff duo was over. Bird was hurt, fans were outraged, but Judy stood by her decision. She wanted fresh faces, new energy, something that would appeal to the TikTok generation. The backlash was intense. Fans called her out, demanding to know why Bird was left behind. For a while, things were rocky. But eventually, Judy made things right. Bird came back, just not to the main show. Instead, he took a starring role in a new spin-off, keeping his place in the courtroom universe alive. And here's the craziest part. Judy's new show, Judy Justice, didn't just succeed, it blew up all over again. She proved to the world that age is just a number, and reinvention is always possible if you've got the drive. She's got her family on screen, a loyal fan base that's followed her across decades, and a new legion of young viewers discovering her unique brand of justice for the very first time. Judge Judy, or should I say Judy Justice, hasn't just survived in the spotlight, she's thrived. She took the old TV rulebook, tore it up, and wrote her own. From bored corporate lawyer to family court warrior to daytime TV queen, and now streaming superstar, she's shown that you don't have to fit into anybody else's mold. In fact, sometimes the best move is to break the mold altogether. So, next time someone says you can't reinvent yourself, remember her story. The real Judge Judy isn't just a judge, she's a force of nature. She turned a lifetime of grit into a television empire, and she's still not done. Hey, if you were inspired or just entertained by this wild ride, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic stories just like this. And drop your favorite Judge Judy moment in the comments. I want to hear from you. Stay tuned, because justice, and a little bit of attitude, never goes out of style.